Good day everyone. This is the discussion for Module 4 about the rational functions. So rational functions are quotients of polynomial functions. This means that rational functions can be expressed as f of x equal to p of x over q of x, where p of x and q of x are polynomial functions. So, aside from it being a polynomial functions, the p of x, of course, is the numerator, and the q of x is the denominator. And q of x should not be equal to 0. Or q of x is not equal to 0. So, the domain of a rational function is the set of all real numbers except the x values that make the denominator equal to 0. For example, the domain of the rational function. We have here f of x equal to the x squared plus 7x plus 9, and that is the p of x. The q of x is x times x minus 2 quantity times x plus 5 quantity. So, the domain of the rational function is the set of all real numbers except 0, 2, and negative 5. Kasi, kapag sinubstitute natin si 0 sa lahat ng x ng denominator natin, and pag pinag-multiply natin yon or in-evaluate or sinimplify natin yan, ay magiging 0 ang sagot. Same with 2. Okay, pag sinubstitute natin kasi dito si 2, magiging 2 minus 2 and 0. So, pag minultiply natin itong dalawa na term, is magiging 0 na ang denominator natin. Same with negative 5. Kapag sinubstitute natin sa lahat ng x, magkakaroon tayo ng 0 dito. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. And pag minultiply natin dito, ay 0 na rin ang magiging sagot. Okay. So, for example, finding the domain of a rational function. Find the domain of each rational function. For letter A, ang gagawin lang natin dyan ay, of course, kunin natin yung q of x or denominator. So, balik tayo dito. Rational functions contain division. So, because division by 0 is undefined, we must exclude from the domain of each function values of x that cause the polynomial function in the denominator to be 0. So, ang sabi dito, kapag yung value ng x ay magiging 0 yung function natin or yung polynomial natin sa denominator, ay kailangan nating i-disregard as a domain. For example, itong letter A ulit, the denominator of f of x equal to x squared minus 9 over x minus 3 is 0 if x is equal to 3. So, pag sinubstitute daw natin si 3 dito sa denominator natin or sa x natin, magiging 0 yung denominator natin. Okay, so that is 3 minus 3 and magiging undefined na yung function natin. So, hindi siya pwedeng maging value ng domain natin for this function. So, x cannot be equal to 3. So, the domain of f consists of all real numbers except 3. So, it is written in this form, x such that x is not equal to 3. Okay. So, for letter B, we have g of x equal to x over x squared minus 9. So, ito lang ang ano lang dito is, again, the denominator. The denominators na hindi natin pwedeng ilagay, or should I say the value of x sa denominator natin ay hindi pwedeng negative 3 and positive 3. So, ang gagawin kasi natin dito, let's go to sa board. We have here x over x squared minus 9. So, ang sabi ko kanina, we let the denominator equal to 0. And then, find the value of x. So, we have x squared minus 9 gagawin natin dyan ay, ayan, equal to 0. So, we have the left and the right side of the equation. Ang gagawin natin na susunod ay ilipat natin or i-transpose natin si negative 9 sa right side. So, we have here x squared equal to, anong mangyayari? Magiging positive 9 siya. Remember, kapag nagtatranspose tayo, mag-change ang sign ng transpose natin. So, in this case, we have negative 9. Okay, i-transpose natin to the right side or ilipat natin siya to the other side and magiging 9. Okay, to get the value of x, we should get the roots ng x and ng 9. So, ng x squared and 9. Okay, so the square root of x squared is x and the square root of 9 is positive and negative 3. So, therefore, ang ibig lang sabihin nito, pag sinubstitute kasi natin ito, si 3, positive 3 or negative 3, magiging 0 siya. So, hindi siya pwedeng maging domain ng function na to. Okay? So, again, the denominator of g of x is 0 if x is equal to negative 3 or positive 3. Thus, the domain of a g consists of all real numbers except negative 3 and positive 3. For letter C, we have h of x equal to x plus 3 over x squared plus 9. Okay, so ito, ang mangyayari lang naman dito, papakita ulit natin, isa-solve ulit natin siya. Again, that is x plus 3 over x squared plus 9. Ang kukunin ulit natin dito, ang gagawin ulit natin is we let the denominator equal to 0. So we have x squared plus 9 equal to 0 and get the value of x. Okay. So x squared, again, same process nung kanina. Since positive 9 ito, magiging negative 9 yan. And then, kunin natin yung roots. So, square root ng x squared and square root of negative 9. So, the square root of x squared is x. And this one, we have square root of negative 9. And hindi siya pwede, tama? Ang magiging sagot natin dito ay 9i. This is, not a real number. Okay, so 9i is not a real number. So, ibig sabihin, sa letter C natin, no real numbers cause the denominator of h of x to equal to 0. Okay, so wala daw real number na kapag sinubstitute natin sa x ng function natin ay magiging 0 ang denominator. So, therefore, the domain of h consists of all real numbers. Okay, so next is unlike the graph of a polynomial function, the graph of the reciprocal function has a break in it and is composed of two distinct branches. So we use a special arrow notation to describe this situation symbolically. So we have here symbol x approaches a from the right. Next is x approaches a from the left. So, positive pag sa right, negative naman pag sa left. This one is x approaches infinity. That is, x increases without bound. Next, we have x approaches negative infinity. That is, x decreases without bound. And ito yung example ng graph nitong vertical asymptotes natin. Okay, so the line x equal to a is a vertical asymptote of the graph of a function. If f of x increases or decreases without bound as x approaches a. So ito yung example natin. So f of x approaches positive infinity. So again, yung f of x natin ay y. F of x is equal to y actually. So, ito yung f of x natin. Makikita natin na yung movement niya ay pataas sa part ng y-axis natin. And this one, ang movement niya ay papunta siya sa right. Okay, yung movement niya ay papunta sa right kasi x approaches from the right. Ayun yung nakalagay dito. So, next condition, we have here f of x approaches positive infinity as x approaches from the left. Okay, so same lang din yung sa pataas kanina, yung sa positive infinity. And papunta yung, starting from here, papunta siya doon sa left side naman. Since negative, kumbaga, x approaches from the left. Okay, so negative, di ba, sa Cartesian plane natin, sa top is and right ay positive, sa baba naman and sa left side is negative. Okay, so f of x approaches positive infinity or f of x approaches negative infinity as x approaches a from either the left or the right. Okay, next one, sa f of x approaches negative infinity as x approaches from the right. Okay, so makikita natin dito na nandito na yung sa part ng y-axis natin, papunta na siya dito sa negative part. So negative infinity kasi siya. And from the right ulit. Okay, x approaches from the right. Dito naman sa kabila, of course, f of x approaches negative infinity. Makikita ulit natin dyan. Pababa siya. And it's negative part. Tapos, approach ay from the left naman po. X approaches from the left. Okay. So, ayan ulit. The vertical asymptotes of rational functions. If the graph of a rational function has vertical asymptotes, they can be located by using the following theorem. Okay, so if f of x is equal to p of x over q of x is a rational function in which p of x and q of x have no common factors and a is a zero of q of x. So the denominator, then x equal to a is a vertical asymptote of the graph of f. Okay, so let's try finding vertical asymptotes. Example number 1. Ito yung function natin. F of x is equal to 2x squared plus 10x plus 12 over x squared minus 9. Okay, first is to simplify the function. Sa numerator muna tayo, the 2x squared plus 10x plus 12. Kapag finactor natin yan, ang makukuha natin dito ay x plus 3 quantity times 2x plus 4. Okay, and yung x squared minus 9, this is the difference of two squares, the x squared and the 9. Pareho pong squares yan, or perfect squares. Ang makukuha nating factor nyan ay x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, so we cancel common factors, which is yung x plus 3 and x plus 3. Okay, we have here 2x plus 4 over x minus 3. Okay, i-graph natin siya. Okay, so, asa na tayo? Ayan. So, the asymptotes occur where the simplified denominator equals 0. Okay, so ang unang natin gagawin is i-simplify muna natin. So, kung hindi na siya masisimplify, kagaya nitong 2x plus 4 over x minus 3, ang gagawin natin ay kukunin natin yung denominator noon, which is yung x minus 3, and we get the value of x. Okay, so the asymptotes occur where the simplified denominator equals 0. We let the denominator equal to 0. So, the vertical line x equal 3 is the only vertical asymptote for this function. So, as the input value x to this function gets closer and closer to 3, the function itself looks more and more like the vertical line x equal to 3. Okay, here's a graph ng example number 1 natin. So, the vertical dotted line at x equal to 3 is the vertical asymptote. Tingnan natin yung dotted line natin dito, which is under kay 3. Okay, so this one. Vertical dotted line. Vertical. Pwede sabihin ng vertical is yung patayo. So, ito is under siya kay 3. Let's assume na yung point na to ay equal to 3. Okay, so the vertical line at x equal to 3 is the vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote pa lang po ang pinag-uusapan natin. So, next is another example. g of x equal to x minus 5 over x squared minus x minus 6. So again, factor muna natin si numerator, and we have here x minus 5. Hindi naman na siya factorable, so x minus 5 pa rin siya. Ito namang general trinomial natin, we have x squared minus x minus 6. Pag finactor natin yan, ang makukuha natin ay x plus 2 quantity times x minus 3. So, factor both the numerator and denominator and cancel any common factors. So, in this case, there are no common factors to cancel. Okay. So, next na gagawin natin ay the denominator equals 0 whenever either x plus 2, kasi dalawa yan, di ba? Meron tayong x plus 2 tsaka x minus 3. So, kunin natin pareho yan. We have here x plus 2 equal to 0 and x, ang value ng x natin ay negative 2. Sinabi ko na kanina kung paano nakukuha yan. So, next naman, x minus 3 magiging, ang value ng x natin ay 3. Okay. So, this function has two vertical asymptotes. One at x equal to negative 2 and the other at x equal to 3. Okay, so again, we have two vertical asymptotes. Una is x equal to negative 2, tapos x is equal to 3. Susunod, we have here a graph of example number 2. The two vertical dotted lines at x equal to negative 2 and 3 are the vertical asymptotes. Ito po yun. So, asan yung arrow natin? Itong dotted line na to, kung mapapansin nyo yan. So, ayan yung x equal to 3. Bakit nandito? Kasi, of course, positive 3 yan. Okay? Positive 3 and yung x-axis natin ay yung nandito, yung horizontal line na to. So, mag-base tayo dito. X is equal to positive 3. Nandito siya sa quadrants, sa first quadrant natin. Or yes, sa fourth quadrant din. And then, yung negative 2 is nandito naman sa left side. Okay? Sa left side naman siya, negative 2. Okay? Ito naman yung dotted line. Under x equal to negative 2. So, these are your vertical asymptotes. Okay. So, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon si horizontal asymptotes. So, a rational function may have several vertical asymptotes, but it can have at most one horizontal asymptote. Okay, so the line, definition of a horizontal asymptote, the line y equal to b is a horizontal asymptote of the graph of a function f if f of x approaches b as x increases or decreases without bound. Okay, so tingnan natin dito. We have here f of x approaches b as x approaches positive infinity. Okay, so yung y equal to b natin, remember, or yung b natin is a horizontal asymptote po ng graph natin. So, nandito siya. Again, yung x approaches positive infinity. Makikita po natin dito. Wait lang. Ayan. So, ito naman po yun ngayon. Okay. And ito yung function natin. Okay, the f. Okay, so tingnan na lang muna natin yung itsura para ma-explain natin mamaya pag i-graph na natin. Pag meron na tayong vertical at horizontal asymptote. So this will be this is an example rather if f of x approaches b as x approaches positive infinity. Okay? And another, f of x approaches b as x approaches infinity. Ngayon, ang question kasi natin dito is paano makukuha yung horizontal asymptotes. Okay. So, ganito. Locating horizontal asymptotes. Let f be the rational function given by. So, this is the formula. Ito yung rational function natin. And a of n is not equal to 0. Okay, yung a of n natin is yung first term. Okay? Yung numerical coefficient natin. Okay, or the leading term. So, it should not be equal to 0. And b of m is not also equal to 0. Yun naman sa denominator natin. Yung leading term natin doon. So, ito ang conditions natin. The degree of the numerator is n. Okay, the degree of denominator is m. Take note, again, yung n is yung degree or yung yung exponent natin. So, ito yung degree ng numerator natin and ito yung degree ng denominator natin. The n and m. Okay, respectively. So, for number 1, if n is less than m, the x-axis is the horizontal asymptote of the graph of f. Okay, so next, if n is equal to m, the line y is equal to a of n over b of m. Yung a of n natin is yung number or numerical coefficient natin. So, kapag equal daw yung exponent or yung degree ng denominator at ng numerator, numerator and denominator, ang magiging natin ay the line is y equal to a sub n over b sub m. It is the horizontal asymptote of the graph of f. Next is, if n is equal to m plus 1, the quotient is in the form ax plus b, and the line y equal to x, ax plus b is called an oblique or slant asymptote. For number 4, if n is greater than m plus 1, the graph of f has neither a horizontal asymptote or an oblique asymptote. Okay. So, let's have an example. If f of x is equal to x squared plus 3x minus 5 over x cubed minus 27. So, identify muna natin. Ang n natin is equal to 2. Okay? At ang m natin ay equal to 3. So, this is n less than 3. And ang sabi kanina, if n is less than m, or should I say, yes, if n is less than m, the x-axis is the horizontal asymptote of the graph of f. Okay, dito sa case natin, we have 2 less than 3 or n less than m. So, then there is a horizontal asymptote at the line y equal to 0. Okay, so yun yung magiging horizontal asymptote natin, if n is less than m. So, because the degree of the numerator, 2, yung 2 is less than the degree of the denominator, which is 3. So, this means that as x gets larger and larger in both the positive and negative directions, so the function itself looks more and more like the horizontal line y equal to 0. Okay, tingnan natin. The horizontal line y equal to 0 is the horizontal asymptote. Ito na po yun mismo. Andyan sa part na yan. Itong line na ito. Okay. Yan. So, wala tayong makikitang dotted line because the horizontal line is y equal to 0. So, that is the horizontal asymptote. Anyway, para mas magets natin, let's have another example. If g of x is equal to 6x squared minus 3x plus 5 over 5x squared plus 7x minus 9. Okay. So, because the degree, of the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, then there is a horizontal asymptote at the line y equal to 6 over 5. Okay, so balik tayo pag ganito. Pag equal daw siya, anong sinabi dito? The line is y equal to a sub n over b sub m, or the numerical coefficient ng leading term natin. So, sa example number 4, makikita natin na equal nga ang n at saka ng m, or equal ang degree ng numerator and denominator natin. So, kukunin lang natin yung numerical coefficient ng leading term natin. Okay, the 6 and 5. Okay, so the horizontal asymptote is y equal to 6 over 5. So, note, 6 is the leading coefficient of the numerator, and 5 is the leading coefficient of the denominator. As x approaches positive infinity and x approaches negative infinity. So, g of x looks more and more like the line y equal to 6 over 5. Okay, tingnan natin dito. So, the horizontal dotted line at y equal to 6 over 5 is the horizontal asymptote. Ito po yun. Ayan, ito yung 6 over 5. Andito siya sa part na to. So take note ay 6/5 doesn't mean nakakapupunta ka sa 6, no? It's the kunin ninyo yung decimal form ng 6/5. So let's assume na nandito nga siya sa part na to. So 6/5. Ayan yung horizontal asymptote natin. Okay? So next, we have here the strategy for graphing a rational function. Suppose that f of x is equal to p of x over q of x, where p of x and q of x are polynomial functions with no common factors. Number 1, determine whether the graph of f has symmetry. So, f of negative x is, if f of negative x is equal to f of x, y-axis symmetry. But if f of negative x is equal to negative f of x, it is origin symmetry. Mamaya gagawin natin yan sa susunod na example. The number 2 naman, second is find the y-intercept. So if there is 1, by evaluating f of 0. Okay, so kukunin natin yung y-intercept by letting the f of x or the y equal to 0 or the f of 0. Okay, again, f of x is equal to y. So pareho lang po yan. Number 3, find the x-intercepts if there are any by solving the equation p of x equal to 0. Okay, so mamaya papakita natin kung anong gagawin siya. 4, find any vertical asymptotes by solving the equation q of x equal to 0. So take note that yung q of x natin ay yung denominator natin. Okay, so find the horizontal asymptote if there is one, using the rule for determining the horizontal asymptote of a rational function. Number 6, plot at least one point between and beyond each x-intercept and vertical asymptote. 7, use the information obtained previously to graph the function between and beyond the vertical asymptotes. So take note of this strategy ha. We have 7 steps. So gawin natin siya. Let's try this one. F of x equal to 3x squared minus 4. Okay. Okay, so we have step 1, determine symmetry. So ang gagawin natin dyan, we let f of negative x. So ang gagawin natin dyan, lahat daw ng x dito ay papalitan natin ng negative x. Okay, so we have here 3 times negative x. I'm sorry, dapat nasa labas ng exponent na to. Hindi lang siya na-edit. So, itong 2 ay nasa labas dapat. So, negative 3 times negative x quantity squared po ito. And this one is ito, negative x quantity squared. So, yung dito sa part na to, parang ganito din dapat yung magiging itsura niya. So, again, 3 times negative x quantity squared over negative x quantity squared minus 4 equal to, okay, we have here negative x quantity squared, ang sagot ay x squared, so times 3, 3x squared. Okay, next is negative x quantity squared, ang sagot ay positive x squared and minus 4. So mapapansin niyo na yung itong 3x squared over x squared minus 4, right after substituting the x doon sa equation natin, positive pa rin yung kinalabasan. And this is f of x. Equal siya kay f of x. Balik tayo sa kanina saglit. Ayan no, f of negative x is equal to f of x. Ibig sabihin positive yung kinalabasan. Okay? So pag negative yan, andito tayo. Andito tayo sa part na to. Origin symmetry tayo. So ngayon ay ang ating symmetry ay y-axis symmetry. Okay. Next, find the y-intercept. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. We will let the y equal to 0 or pwede rin namang, should I say x equal to 0. So, ang gagawin natin dito ay ayan, yung x natin ay papalitan natin ng 0. Correction lang sa sinabi kanina. So, dito sa ito, find the y-intercept, we will let the x equal to 0. Okay. So, yun ha. Pag y-intercept, we will let the x equal to 0. Okay. Lahat ng x ha. Ayan. Yan. So, find the y-intercept, f of 0 is equal to, palitan natin lahat ng x, 3 times x squared ito, 3x squared ito kanina, so magiging 3 times 0 squared. Okay, so 0 squared minus 4. Okay, so pinalitan lang natin ng 0. Ang numerator natin ay equal to 0 at ang denominator natin ay negative 4. So 0 divided by negative 4 is equal to 0. So therefore, our y-intercept is equal to 0. Step 3. Find the x-intercept. Ang gagawin natin dito is we let the numerator equal to 0 or the p of x equal to 0, which is the 3x squared. So 3x squared is equal to 0, so x is equal to 0. Kasi, bakit? Pag sinubstitute natin yan, 3 times 0 squared or 0 quantity squared, 0 pa rin ang magiging sagot. Okay, kaya ang x-intercept natin ay 0 din. Okay? Next, find the vertical asymptotes. Ang gagawin natin doon ay set or let q of x or denominator equal to 0. Ang denominator natin ay x squared minus 4. Okay, so x squared minus 4 equal to 0. Again, set the denominator equal to 0 and then get the value of x. Okay, so x is equal to positive and negative 2. Again, bakit nangyari yan? Square root lang po. Okay, square root of x squared is x, square root of 4 is positive and negative 2. Okay, so our vertical asymptotes are x equal to negative 2 and x equal to positive 2. Meron na tayong 4. Susunod, step 5 is find the horizontal asymptote. Again, makikita natin dito that equal ang n at saka ang m natin, ang degree natin. So, equal ang degree ng numerator and denominator. So, 2 is equal to 2 of course. Ang gagawin natin doon ay kunin natin yung leading coefficient. So, we have sa numerator 3. Dito naman, of course, wala nang nakalagay. Automatic may imaginary na number 1 na tayo dyan. So, that's 3 over 1. Andito na siya. Y is equal to 3 over 1 and 3 over 1 is equal to 3. Okay. Next. So, plot points between and beyond the x-intercept and the vertical asymptotes with an x-intercept at 0 and vertical asymptotes at x equal to 2 and negative 2. So, we evaluate the function negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3, and 4. Okay. So, we have negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3, and 4. So, ayan. Yung ginawa lang natin dito ay substitute natin sa negative 3 sa mga x dito. So, ang makakuha natin dyan ay 27 over 5, negative 1, negative 1, 27 over 5, and 4. Okay. So, bakit ganyan? Baka tanungin nyo is bakit po bakit sila po ang ginamit natin? Negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3, and 4. Actually, kahit ano yan, except dito. So, ito lang yung gagamitin natin. Ito lang yung ipa-plot natin. So, ang sabi sa step 6 natin is plot points between and beyond the x-intercept and the vertical asymptotes. So, again, ang vertical asymptotes natin, should I say, x-intercept natin at vertical, x-intercept natin ay 0. Okay? So, beyond lang ng x-intercept and vertical asymptotes, sandaan ha, ang x-intercept natin ay 0 and between and beyond daw kasi. Okay, so, andito tayo. So, wala na si 0. Meron tayo agad kay 1, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 3. Hindi na natin sinama si positive 2 at si negative 2. Okay. So, ayan. Sinubstitute again itong mga x na to. Asan na yung arrow natin? Negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3, and 4 ay sinubstitute lang natin dito. Sa mga x dito. Okay, so ang mga nakuha natin ay itong mga values na to. Ito yung y, tama? Kasi f of x yan. Okay. So, the figure shows these points, the y-intercept, the x-intercept, and the asymptotes. Ayan, tingnan natin mabuti dito. Yung horizontal asymptote natin, which is equal to 3, andyan siya kung mapapansin nyo, andito siya sa 3, oh, diba, 3. So, sakto yung horizontal asymptote natin, itong dotted line na to. Ayan yung horizontal asymptote natin. Ngayon, susunod, yung vertical asymptote natin, which is x equal to negative 2 and positive 2. So, nandito tayo sa negative 2 na part muna. Ayan, ito yung vertical asymptote. At ito din yung isa pang vertical asymptote. Tandaan na ang horizontal asymptote ay isa lang. Hindi kagaya sa vertical asymptote na actually more than one. Okay? So, we have here the x-intercept and y-intercept. Pareho silang nasa 0. Okay? I mean, should I say, it's 0, 0. Okay? 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay? That is x-intercept and the y-intercept. So, step 7 is graph the function. So, the graph of f of x is shown in the figure. The y-axis is now obvious. Okay? Ito na yon. So, una natin muna na i-graph, ayan, di ba, meron tayo din horizontal, vertical, asymptote, and the intercepts. Okay, so ito yung graph natin. We have this one, and this one. Okay, so ano yung sinasabi kanina na symmetry, y-axis symmetry, ayan, makikita po natin dito sa graph na to. We have here as this one. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's as simple as that. This is how you will graph a rational function. Yun po yung mga kinailangan natin kunin. So we have again the vertical asymptote, the horizontal asymptote, the intercepts. Okay? So we have 7 steps na gawa natin dito. And this is for your module 4. And for any questions and clarifications, you can ask your subject teachers. This is Sir Rain, your COR 005 teacher. And if ever there is a typo or error or typo and error po dito sa PowerPoint presentation and sa video lesson, we kindly ask clarification to your teachers na lang po, and apologies for that. Again, good day to all of you, and thank you.